The overall skepticism coming out of the Iraq experience has colored everything here. The president's assurances of, you've got this contradiction. On the one hand, he's saying, I'm not going to own the war, I'm not going to put boots on the ground. What I have in mind is a limited strike. But then that actually undermines the argument for action, because people are saying, well, if it's not going to make a difference in the Syrian civil war, why do it? And if you take action the first time, will you come back to us, as did happen in our experience in Vietnam, that you have to up the ante because your first step did not have the impact that you wanted? This is a great conundrum. I think the White House's strategy is very coherent. It using military force in support, coercively, in support of diplomacy. That was what worked in the context of Kosovo. But again, selling that to a skeptical public is very, very difficult.
And what if he doesn't sell it to a skeptical public and Congress, more importantly, he doesn't get the vote if and when it happens? Would he go on regardless and carry out military strikes against Syria?
I think that's a very, very difficult calculation. Obviously, Prime Minister Cameron, even it was a close vote in the House of Commons, but he said that the vote reflects the will of the people, and we will respect the will of the people. I think at the end of this, Obama will be forced, having sought a vote from Congress, to respect whatever Congress's judgment is. That's what makes this Russian proposal more significant, because it provides a political off-ramp and puts the issue back in the United Nations, where many in the United States and many around the world feel it belongs.
But he's tied himself into carrying out some kind of military strike. When you hear the Democrat Senator Dianne Feinstein saying, look, he said if the use of chemical weapons is proven to have been done by Assad, that constitutes the crossing of a red line. If Obama does nothing, he's going to look like a paper tiger. Aaron David Miller, highly respected Middle East peace negotiator for the Americans, advised 6 secretaries of state. He says the conventional wisdom of those who favour strikes is that nobody will take Obama seriously on any other issue if he doesn't go ahead with the strikes. His credibility is at stake.
His credibility is at stake, as is the international community's. But again, I think that the Russian proposal has fundamentally changed the politics of this on any number of levels. And I think it actually strengthens, the president's case. For example, with the French proposal to go to the United Nations with a resolution, if Russia fails to push hard enough, or if Syria fails to cooperate, that actually strengthens the case for military action. It provides some time for the UN inspectors to come back with their results that at least documents, contrary to Syrian comments to the contrary, that in fact there was the use of chemical weapons in the Syrian civil war. So I think this provides more leverage to Obama rather than less.
When former Senator Joe Lieberman says, are we perceived as a divided and dysfunctional superpower in retreat whose words and warnings are no longer meaningful, do you think the US is a superpower in retreat?
I think there's a risk there, and I think if the president suffers a defeat in the Congress, it either diminishes his presidency at home, or it diminishes confidence in American leadership abroad. I certainly was surprised when the president pressed the pause button rather than the launch button. I think he felt that he did not have enough political legitimacy to proceed with the strike, given what had happened in the British Parliament.
And just 10 seconds, PJ Crowley. It's ironic, isn't it, that the man who won the Peace Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize, is now the man advocating military strikes against Syria. Do you see that irony, briefly?
I do see that irony, but by the same token, he doesn't want to own a significant war in Syria. I think the Russian proposal gives him a chance to get what he wants, which is a peaceful political solution.